That's quite good.
ERNIE, Zen. Yeah. Look, we're just gonna throw some bars in, have a bit of a laugh, have some fun. Hope you guys like it. Much love. You know it is. Come on, you ones. When I jump on a track, I flow like an artist. Lyrical brush, I paint all my hardship. Take off too fast, so strap up your harness. Leaving the ocean part is Moses, nothing. Needing to find my bro like Raditz. Believe it or no, my death's no challenge. I ain't the hardest, can't be rapping and wheeling. Chilling in the back street chatting. Or we can stand in your place. Handstand down while we dance in your grave. Handstand plan, there's no chance of a fake. I've been a fan cam ram, but the man on the plate unhinged. Hit the bars so hard, see that cringe. Solar bars, changing the colour of your skin. Polar charts filling the Arctic wind. Know my path, but in the darkness in. I know it's hard to be the goat at last. I wanna show my cards, I gotta bro with hearts, gotta devote my part to the bro from the start. Might as well go through him, my dart as I load my hope. I'm broke, I chose to go alone. I know my death's from overdose or comatose. To blow my bro dope, to rope, but use a choke, abuse a coach, diffuse at home. Flips up a pound, gives up on crowns, trips up, falls down, sits up on ground, sits up and nuts. We rubbles and bounce, lives ups and downs, shit comes around. It's us without the us and ours. How the fuck did I wake up here from the haze and beers and the games of peers? How the fuck do I make it clear? I don't chase that gear that I hate from fearing. This is just a test of flows. And my grades are the best for those. Tell me that I'll let it go. That we frozen, let it float. Nah, we got that pound hidden in a mattress. Evergreen, not Everdeen, not Katniss. Snakes there, changing their faces. Too many catfish.
Hello and welcome back to Green Street Elites. This time I nearly said West Ham Network because we're normally on there, isn't it? And welcome back to the channel. And that way, to my left, obviously, as always, the Wizard of Oz, Cieran. How are you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. I got up this morning and trying to watch a few of the extensive highlights of what happened in the Premier League last night. My God, I watched about 3 games. All I saw was goals after goals after goals. Fuck me.
Oh no, it was fantastic. And the Newcastle Luton game.
That's the one, guys. I thought, what the fuck?
Wow.
Mental.
I mean, come on, everybody's written Luton off near enough, haven't they?
Not me.
Everybody.
I can stand by this because I said it to Titch about 2 months ago. I said Luton are the only side that have a chance because of the fight they've got, and I still believe that. And after slapping 4 against Brighton in it the other day, right, smashing them, and then scoring 4 up at Newcastle, even though they got caught, dragged back in the end. Man, they're showing some heart. They really are. Really, they've got a chance, man. They definitely got a chance.
Definitely.
It always helps when another team gets 10 points taken off them, mind you.
Yeah. Hello, Reece. Thank you for joining us, young sir.
G'day, Reece.
Yeah, so, wow, yeah, it was quite an amazing day, to be fair, football-wise, you know, I mean,
the Villa as well, the first half of Villa, mate, they were just
they were rampant, weren't they? Definitely.
They were rampant, they were amazing. Really good football, man. It's good goals. It's really disheartening when you watch West Ham against Bournemouth and then you're watching all these highlights and these goals and these brilliant passes and these great assists. I
know, yeah. I was in the stadium for that Bournemouth game. It was fucking dire, I've got to be honest, you know. I mean, I had a good day. I had a good evening because I met up with Happy and, you know, we went to the pub and that first and it was a nice day, you know. We had a good day, as it were, you know, but
it's interrupted by that dross.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, a good day was spoilt by 90 minutes of absolute you know, and it was fucking nail biting at times as well, mate, you know. I mean, like when they got on the attack quite often in that first half, And you know, I was thinking, oh mate, we're going to be 3-0 down before half time.
Yeah, we should have been done and dusted. You know, they should have. There should have been at least 2 up at half time. They didn't take them. I mean, Kudos worked the penalty well. He done well to get it, and it was a penalty. And we got it back. But after that, you know, I thought again, we maybe try and go for their throat. We just didn't. And nothing kicked on after that. And they weren't much better in the second half than we were, to be fair. Right? But in the first half, they shot. They should have had it.
I mean, there was moments in there when there was just no desire in the players at all. You know, there was some of the cracking back was lazy. You know, it was dross. It was dross. But we managed to retain our 6th place and earn a point out of it. So, you know,
and I suppose we did work out that JWP is not a left winger. We worked that one out. As if you didn't need to know. But you should have known before.
But that was kind of like
right?
Yeah. That was like a scientific experiment, expecting a 12-year-old to be able to create something, you know, well-being.
He could have stumbled upon something amazing. That all of a sudden, JWP is an amazing left winger, but he didn't. Funny enough.
No.
So.
Do you know what? I know I bang on about him, but I'd like to see him try Johnson there when Soufal's back.
Yeah, well, Jesus, that could be on the cards now. Anyone could be thrown out there now. We just don't know. Soufal's back this week for the right back. I'll throw Johnson out left. He might be able to do it. That's sake, mate. You've had about 8 people out there that couldn't, from Ben Rama to Fornells to JWP, and now give Johnson a go. Why not?
Yeah. And, you know, who knows, you know, in an interview he did with Ironcast on the West Ham YouTube channel, Lucas Fabianski revealed that he played as a striker one time off the bench. So, you might see the number 1 running up and down the left wing.
Oh, don't. I'll tell you what, I don't think against Man United, mate, it's about how many defenders can we we're going to turn the whole team into defenders. And
Do you know what I think he should try? I think he should try putting Creswell at the back in his, you know, usual left back position. And I think he should push Emerson forward into that left wing.
Yeah, well, it's another option.
Against United, I think it would work against United. I really do. Yeah. He's quite lethal with that left foot of his.
To be honest, I haven't got faith that anything we've got at the moment is going to work. But against United up there, I think it's a worrying game. I'm scared of it now. Don't even want to watch it.
Stephen Spraggs is in the house. All right, Stephen, how are you, mate? Looking forward to having a chat with you real soon, buddy. We've managed to link up on social media, so that's nice. I think you're right. I think we've pretty much, you know, exhausted all of our resources out on that left-hand side. And the only one that seems to be doing anything out there is bloody Paqueta. And the worst thing about it is he's needed in the centre, you know, and it's just frustrating. So, you know, I think that
he's just not available this weekend, Paqueta, even. So
no, he's not.
That's the worry. That's the worry. So that kills us. I can see us doing a Moisey, you know, masterclass of 10 men behind the ball, and that's it. And hope we can break away with a kudos breakaway or something. That's all I can see. And I, after watching this weekend's goal, even Everton Spurs, another 4 goals in that game, 2-2.
Yeah,
it was goals everywhere in these games, and I can see being a lot more goals in this game. I just don't want to watch them. This is not
going to go in the right bloody net. Yeah,
the crap as Man United can be, I think we
can be worse.
Think they're dangerous. They're dangerous up front.
Yeah, to us especially. You know, I mean, well, it's just I think what we're doing is we're losing momentum slowly.
Yeah,
and you know, I mean, we had a really great opening to the season. To be fair, Kieran.
Yeah, we did. No, we had a great start, and we got lucky in a few games, and we put points on the board. We've done all right, but we were relying on Kudos and Paquetá to dig us out of shit, and Souček for that matter. You know, scoring late goals, nicking games. But that luck can only last so long, and now it's down to a bit of quality. And with Paquetá out of the team, you worry. And I'd say Zuma would probably be rested this game because he played during the week. You know, he looked broken in that game. So I think we might see Aged back in with Mavropanos.
Yeah.
Which might help.
I mean, Mavropanos does offer something very different to Kurt Zuma. He does offer us a high line. You know, if you've got,
there won't be no high lines either.
No.
Let me count on their 6-yard box.
If you've got Aged, I mean, our standard back line would normally be Aged, you know, without Zuma, would probably be Aged and Mavropanos with Emerson out on the left and perhaps Soufal or Johnson out on the right. With Johnson, we could play the high line. With Soufal, not so much. But I mean, the thing is, when Soufal breaks forward, we kind of reshuffle into a back three anyway. You know what I mean? And unless, of course, Emerson's in the attack as well, or Aaron Creswell.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether he drags Soufal back into this game. I think Soufal's better than Johnson when we're going forward because he delivers a bit more in the attack. But this game, I don't see us going forward very often. You know, and he might have to deal with Rashford out there. So maybe Johnson might be a better option to deal with Rashford than Soufal for this game. You know,
he's
otherwise
got a place to keep up with him, and really, to be fair, he's got more of a chance anyway.
He's got more of a chance, I think, than Soufal. So I don't know, but I prefer Soufal myself, especially if he's going forward to more in attack. But in this game, it just might suit Johnson better.
Yeah. I mean, I love that gladiatorial approach that Soufal and Souček both offer the club, you know. And to be fair, I think that's possibly why Souček is one of the first names on the team sheet for David Moyes, you know, because of that gladiatorial. You know, he's and Steve says here, I'm dreading Moyes getting a new contract. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something we're all dreading, I think. I mean, it's boring.
Oh, if that happens, Budge, honestly.
Yeah.
You imagine another couple of years of this shit.
Yeah. Referees in the house. Evening, Keith. How are you, sir? Good evening, chaps, he says. It's a tough one this weekend, really, because to be fair, we've had a couple of really decent results against them. We've had a couple of pretty poor ones as well.
That's what you've got to hang on to, that we can turn up against them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And, you know, they don't expect us to turn up against them when they're at home. And when we do turn up, which isn't that often, obviously, but when we do turn up against them, you know, at Old Trafford, we give them a bloody good game, and we've been known to nick a result or three out of them, you know. But
with that, I said, if we'd had Paquetá in this team, I think, you know, our counter-attacking with him and Kudos, we got a chance.
Yeah.
You know, but without him, I say, watching the evidence, you know, in that Bournemouth game, my God. There was no creativity at all in that. Nothing. There was. I don't remember their keeper making a save in that Bournemouth game. I know he faced two shots. One just went straight into his hands from Phillips, I remember, but I wouldn't call it a save. There weren't a save. We didn't put him under any pressure. We didn't take a shot.
Harry had to make a couple.
Oh yeah, he made a great save to save us. That save saved it.
That was a world.
Yeah. That would have been 2-0, and I think that was it. Game was over. But but we didn't create nothing, and I don't see what you know with the players he's got to pick with this week. What's changes? Nothing really changes.
No.
Only we're going to be deeper because it's Man United.
Yeah. So I noticed when I was getting ready to come on and that this is actually directed at you, Keith. I noticed that the Universal Toy Collector was live. So have you just come over from his chat? I bet you have.
Who's that?
Sorry. Well, Keith is a member of a community that are toy collectors, and you know that kind. I know that kind of sounds a bit weak, but it's actually very interesting. So I mean, like some of the details that these guys go into with the collections that they've got is incredible. And I've watched a few of the shows, you know, that they do. They've got a YouTube. This guy called Universal Toy Collector. He doesn't live too far away from me, to be fair. Yeah, Keith is a member of that community, and you know, some of it's quite interesting. I mean, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then it is a very interesting watch. But yeah, I just saw that he was live.
I mean, I'm interested in watching really good football, and I've got West Ham.
Yeah, you know, that
ain't a good watch.
No. At least the girls got a decent result during the week against who was it? Oh, Bristol City. They beat them 2-1. Yeah. So they're getting a couple of results now, but they've had a poor start to the season themselves. Actually, how's the weather out there then, Kieran? Come on, let's get that out of the way. Let's have a weather report.
Yeah, as boring as it is, mate. It's going to be about 30 degrees today. Quite hot, quite humid. Yeah, it's lovely. It's 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9:15 in the morning. It'll be about 26 now, so it'll get up to about 30. Not too hot.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
Not
too bad today, mate.
No new shark attacks to update.
No, not since last week. That one in Sydney Harbour.
We do know that her leg was saved.
It was saved, was it? Oh, you know more than me. Well done, bud. Yeah, it was saved.
I can come up with that. I kind of did a little look into it, and I didn't actually watch the video, but there was a video titled "Shark Attack Victim Leg Saved." So I'm assuming that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a 29-year-old woman swimming in Sydney Harbour.
I don't know that much more than you do, mate. Just happened to notice.
Well, I wasn't sure because she was attacked by a bull shark and they got her by the leg and they dragged her out and got her in the ambulance. But that's the question mark was her leg going to be saved? So if it was, that's great. It seemed pretty nuts. She lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, yeah. Which could have been even worse because that could have attracted any other bull sharks in the area, and she would have been torn to pieces.
Lucky enough, she was because she's in Sydney Harbour. She's not in a remote area. They can get her into an ambulance real quick. You know, that's probably what saved.
Yeah. And to be fair, you know that even bull sharks, when they do make an attack, they're testing first of all to see whether it's an edible item for them. You know, they're sampling the goods, as it were. So, you know, a lot of the time, if it is just one bite, it's survivable. But you know, from what I've read and heard on, you know, various documentaries and stuff. But I do like the fact that you know, they were able to save her leg. That's really good news. Mr. Bong's in the house. Oi, Mr. B and C. A wee bit hungover from the great victory in Marseille last night, but looking forward to tomorrow. Come on, you irons. Who played in Marseille last night then? Are we talking about rugby here, I think? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't follow anything other than West Ham or Formula One. Do you get into? You don't follow the Formula One or anything, do you? Hey,
what was that?
You don't follow the Formula One or anything like that, do you?
Your mic crackling a bit. I just started crackling.
Hold up. Is that any better?
Still a bit crackly, but there you go.
Is it? I don't know what's going on here. Hold up.
No, that's all right now, I think.
All right. Okay. But you don't follow Formula One or anything like that, do you?
No, I don't know. I find it quite boring. You know what I mean? I just don't see.
It's just that the biggest transfer news of the day on the final day of the transfer market in January. Yeah, was that Lewis Hamilton is moving from Mercedes to Ferrari, and it shocked the hell out of me. Really shocked me.
Wow.
He would go
Yeah.
to Ferrari.
I suppose that is big news.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Rugby, Mr. B. Come on, BIG. Steve
Oh, of course, the Six Nations started because I watched the first game. I watched Ireland versus France. Fucking Ireland fucking stuffed them. I didn't realise the other game because they're obviously overnight while I was asleep. So it must have been England playing France. Must have done them as well. No, who's England playing out there?
I don't know. Come on, Bong, tell us who they played.
Mr. Bong, I'll say I've missed it overnight, even though I do like watching the Six Nations.
And good evening also to Wally. Good evening, Wally. How are you, son?
Wally, I think where's he? Where's Wally gone down to? He's on a trip down to his usual what do you call it? What is it gone? I'll think of it in a minute.
He'll tell you in a minute, won't he? Here we go. Keith says, yeah, I am a toy collector. Vintage Action Man. That's the one.
Yeah, but I have watched some of them guys, them thrifters or pickers in America would go for these vintage toys. It's quite fucking amazing what they go for and what people will buy and pay for and collect. It is a big market. I didn't realise, but it is. And you see them going into these, thrift stores or garage sales and picking up these little toys that look like a bag of shit you'd throw in a bin, and selling them for $100 or $50 or whatever. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wally's gone to New Orleans for the Mardi Gras.
Yeah, he's going to Mardi Gras, New Orleans. All his beads round his neck, mate. His cocktail in hand.
Six Nations, no one else invited.
Yeah, mate. 6 enough.
Yeah. Kieran looking like Aussie John Wayne, get off your horse. Stu's talking about Star Wars toys. I'd rather talk to myself with West Ham chat. Gotcha. And saying hello to Keith. Well, we talk about everything in here, Keith, West Ham.
There's no agenda.
A little bit. No.
I'll tell you what, the Sharky thing, I did see, I researched it a bit a while back, and a month ago. Last year, there was 17 fatal shark attacks in the world.
Right.
And 4 of them were in Australia. So that basically the quarter of, all deaths from sharks last year was in Australia. There's 4, one and 2 in South Australia, 1 in Western Australia, and 1 in Queensland, on the East Coast. So there you go. 17 deaths.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably think there's a fair number of them are from the African coast as well, South Africa particularly.
Yeah, thinking back to the program I watched, there was a few in America. There was a couple in Mexico.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They get the big sharks there too, the great whites and whatever. So
and the big old Makos. The Makos are usually down by South America, aren't they?
I think they're all over, man. That's the thing here. We know that the great whites are always South Australia because it's cooler waters. They prefer the cooler waters. The great white, and we have to deal with the tigers up here and the bull sharks and the
vicious bastards. Both they're all vicious, aren't they? Happy Hammerets in the house. Evening to you, Happy.
Happy H.
Hello. Australian sharks are nasty, apparently.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, you want to swim out there? That's your problem, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you want to go camping in the jungle, be prepared to meet a tiger or a lion, depending on where you are in the world, or fucking poisonous snakes or something. If you're in their territory, mate, how's your luck?
That's up to you. It's their back garden.
Wally says here we have the gator sharks. Yeah, gators.
Yeah, they got big gators, man.
Gators and Crocs, mate, they're vicious, horrible bloody things they are. Bloody giant reptiles. Yeah. He's got 9 cats. He's fully shark trained, he says. Hang on a minute. I've just noticed. That's Robocop, isn't it? Is that a Robocop on your...
That's what he looks like.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, Robo. I love Robocop.
That's what he wore. That's what he wore when he was refereeing.
Yeah. Oh, good. You have 5 seconds to comply. Red card. 5 seconds to comply. I bet he would have loved that. Bring back out of town. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to go and get yourself down by the side of a river with a rod and that one day.
Yeah. Talking nonsense.
Yeah.
And a pipe. He used to have a pipe, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, old chap. Yeah, loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him. Great fella. Let's try to get excited for the second half of the season, everyone.
I can't do that. How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, there are going to be a few more evenings like the one the other evening when we had a few drinks and someone got us onto the bloody Jaeger bombs. Some naughty little imp. Well, actually, that was a bit sizist. I don't mean it that way. I meant the attitude of an imp. Doubt it. Yeah, exactly that, Steve. Yeah. Oh, Wally wants to get, excited and positive. Wally, you've got to give us some positivity, mate. What have we got to look forward to in this half of the season? I'll tell you one thing that I think will improve is the Calvin Phillips scenario. I mean, to be fair, no, a lot of people say, no, he's passed the ball back and blah, 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 blah. But to be fair, it wasn't 100% his fault that happened.
No, it wasn't. Zuma put him in a position there that he should never have done. So that's the initial mistake for me. That's the initial mistake, and then he made it worse. But
it stems from
I wouldn't judge any player on his first game at West Ham. I mean, my God, Paquetá, I thought in that first couple of months he was shit. I really thought we'd bought a dud. You know what I mean? It took him a while to get going, old Paquetá. If you remember back, he was constantly giving the ball away. His passing was awry. It wasn't that good. And then all of a sudden it kicked in, and then you saw how good he can be and how good he is. So you can't judge on that. I'm not going to worry about it till in 6 weeks' time. I'll be judging him. He ain't improved, and he got to improve. You can't get any worse than that first 60 minutes he played. So he's got to improve.
Oh, Bongo, he's saying, if I ever become constipated, I'd like to request that Cieran to recite the up north with the overturned boat in the estuary story for medicinal purposes. Yeah. That was my near death experience with crocodiles, but at the end of the day, I didn't get to see one, so I got lucky. Keith says $100 he wishes. They're silly money, mate. Things these days, silly money. Paquetá should be back soon, but not this week, mate. Unfortunately, no. Weaker by players that no one wanted to play. Numbers are weaker, but not usefulness. Okay, that's a reasonable summary. First team has no pace, left wing and striker, and new manager needed in the summer. We're not going to get a striker unless we have a new manager that plays one. Yeah. To be fair, a lot of forwards are, better than an out-and-out striker, in my opinion. I mean, look, Jared Bowen being one, Mohamed Kudus being one. I think you find that, what's his name over at Man City, the young lad, Phil Foden. He's far more effective than a striker is, I think, in certain games. Erling Haaland isn't just an out-and-out striker, although he does that very well. he's also like a bit of a player as well. He plays in and around the box as well, which I like.
He's a beast.
That's
He's
the
a
kind of
beast.
player we need. A player that can play in. Look, even a 24-year-old Mikel Antonio would be better than what we've got now.
Yeah.
You know, a player like that.
Look, he's settled for, and he's always wanted to. He always wanted to push Bowen up front. I don't agree with it myself. I think he's done his best work when he's been on the right, and I think he can score just as many goals from the right than he can sitting in the middle. So I'd rather have a striker myself. But then again, Moyes' track record with strikers no good. It was pointless him buying another one. I'm glad they didn't buy another one in this window. It'd have been another waste. So.
Steve says, Antonio is nearly back, and the man with 2 goals in 14 games before he got injured. Moyes is number 9. Those are laughy faces. It's true, though. I mean, yeah. Yes, thank you, Happy. It's amazing to spend the evening with me on Thursday. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, we had a bit of a laugh when we got to the station, racing to the bloody steam train. It was hilarious. She ran. I saw her run. It was funny. So our offence is basically 2 great right wingers and nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look,
that's about it.
If we're putting Bowen up front, we should be putting Danny Ings behind him right now.
Yeah, it's hard to see what. It's hard to see what.
Kudus on the right. I think he should put Emerson on the left and play Creswell as well behind him. That's just my personal opinion, but you know that's open for debate. Let's debate that. Mum says hello to Budge Star. Hello, Mum. How are you, my dear? Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice evening. I hear you two have been out on the Raz, so you know. Let's hope you've had a nice evening. Steve Tiley says, Moyes will never drop Souček. I'm sorry, but he offers nothing, in my opinion. My left foot could pass the ball better. Goals, he ain't scored for about 6 or so anyway. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Wally says hello to Happy's mum as well. Yes, it's a Robocop helmet that I wore to work on a night shift. My governor was not impressed. I'm assuming you mean when you were in the service that you wore it on a night shift. Great, I love that. I do like that. See, that's the kind of thing you don't ever get to hear about normally. Those salties were picked up my scent in the water pretty sharpish, about 0.0001 seconds after hitting the water.
You want to hope not. That's the thing. I thought, maybe they got a scent for Poms, and I was fucked. But
if I ever fell in the water with a load of salties, they'd be out to find me. They've only got to chase the fart bubbles, mate, because there'd be millions of them. We didn't sign one decent striker, so every time we have injuries, we're crap. Yes. Good evening to you, Lee. Thank you for joining us, mate. First comment. So yeah, thanks for joining, buddy. Steve, Moyes' idea of football: JWP set pieces for Souček and low block. That's it. The football isn't the same.
Steve, we know all this. We know all this. It doesn't help.
Let's make this less negative, Steve. Come on, let's have it. But no. It's Creswell playing. He is way past it now, not Premier standard. But as an outright left back with no forward duties, it's a better option to have him there with Emerson in front. This is just personal opinion, and I value yours too, Steve. But I think as a left back with no forward duties, you won't need to because of Emerson. Emerson will fill the gap better than.
Do you know what I think he might do as well? You know what is an option, and it's not a good option, right? But what I think he could do with what he's got left to choose from without Paquetá, right, is put Bowen on the left put Kudos on the right and have Ings in the middle.
Yeah.
Not a great option, but we're going to be sitting deep all the bloody game anyway.
No, but that's more likely to be something that he'll consider, Kieran, you know.
At least,
that's the way
you know, you can ping balls to the left and right then to Bowen or Kudos to give you a way out, you know, and hope they can get the ball into Ings or not, or take it on themselves. That to me is an option. I don't think it's a great option, but it is, rather than trying to shoehorn JWP and Souček into the team.
Yeah, but to be fair, that might utilise Ings' capability a bit better anyway.
It might.
He likes to hang on that last defender, doesn't he? He likes to be just behind that last defender so that he can pop round them either way.
I know that's sort of desperation, but I think that will work better than what he tried the other night with Prowse on the left. If you put Bowen on the left, put Kudos on the right, at least we got two wingy type players.
Yeah,
and they have got a bit of pace about them. There's something.
Yeah,
you know.
Another option is Divine Obama. I know it's a big game, and he's only a youth player, to be fair, but he is another option, Kieran. Do you know
he's an option, yeah, but I'd still would put Ings in front of him. You know, I'll say it won't solve all the problems, but for this game,
he did have a really good game on his last outing, I must admit.
He did, and he played sort of deep in that role, that number 10 role, and he done really well, actually.
He did.
Ings, and that's what's in my head. He might be able to reproduce that, you know? Yeah,
as a 10, as a
sort of. Yeah. He will
go on. Oldest squad in the Premier League. We know about Fabianski, Antonio Ings should no longer be playing in the first team. Same as 3 seasons ago. The season will peter out. There's a good shout. That is a good shout. But look, we've just got to try and stay positive, Steve. You know, we're doing all right. We're still maintaining 6th, although we dropped 2 points the other night. Let's just try and be positive. You know, we're not watching great football, but we're not losing every game, which is, you know, good.
I believe that I think the season's going to peter off anyway, you know, because of the squad depth we haven't got, you know. So, I mean, we've got to accept that we're not. I mean, 6th place, to me, I think you're only dreaming. You think we can still hang on to 6th. I don't think we can at all.
Now, this is a really good shout. I like this comment. Thank you, Stephen. Such a shame we have so many decent kids. He just will not play them. What's the point of having an academy? Steve Potts and Kenny Brown's hard work just going to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Divine Obama has had a few opportunities, and let's be fair, bloody well in most of them. You know, he's had a couple of European goals, you know, and a couple of league goals, I believe. So let's try and at least utilise him as an impact sub or something of that nature. That's got to be it. That's got to be the way forward. Can't get positive buzz with this jockeying charge. Well, that's up to you, mate. I get it. I do get it. Keith, Budgie, yes, the photo is in the locker room at Dagenham Police Station. I love that. I love it. Yeah. Did you hear that? Keith says, yeah, that photo is in the locker room at Dagenham Police Station.
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I suppose, you know, we were just saying about, you know, how the academy haven't been given opportunities enough and stuff.
Yes. It's a tough one, Budge. It's a tough one with that.
It is.
You mean we're not? We need, you know, your eyes on the prize here. We don't know. We can shout out about youngsters all day long, right? But we don't know. They're bloody good youngsters. We all know we've got a really good side there. Are they good enough for that Premier League We don't know. Maybe they are. The trouble is, we're never going to find out under Moyes because he's not going to give them them minutes and that build up to getting into it. He's just not. You know what I mean? Yeah. All he cares about is the result. Now, if you had I'm no doubt, if one of them was a complete superstar in there, I think he would. You know what I mean? If it helped his cause. But if he doesn't believe that they're strong enough or experienced enough or that good, he's not going to play them. And I can understand that. But what would annoy me, if you've got the likes of Kenny Brown and the guys running the cat saying to him, boy, this boy's ready, and he's ignoring it, that would annoy me. You know what I mean? Because they know, they watch him every minute of every ball they kick. So they've got a better idea than we have. I'd be interested to know what they think, whether they think he should be playing them and he's not. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. Steve Tiley says he's been in the cells at Dagenham Police Station many years ago. Happy says, Tiley, one question. Who can come in that can do a better job right now, realistically? That's a really good question, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. HH Lesser, the Tiley girl. I'm Steve. Yeah, but there's two Steves in the house, so she's either going to use Tiley or Bragg, isn't she? Let's be fair. Lee, to be fair, Moyes. To be fair on Moyes, we are holding good ground in the Premier League. It's just that it's stale and don't seem to like change. May as well keep him this season, see where we finish. Well, there's no chance of him going anywhere this season anyway.
No, he's staying to the end of the season, mate. The worry is, does he stay after that? For me, I hope he doesn't. I hope we go in a new direction and start looking forward. But I mean, when I look at what the players we're going to lose at the end of the season now, and the ones we've already just lost, we've had 3 players go out in that window. Mm-hmm. We've only brought one boy in on loan. We're losing, say, Ogbonna, probably Cresswell, maybe Fabianski. Young Johnson might not sign a contract. Obama might not sign a contract. Ings probably has to go. Antonio will probably go. Whoever manager comes in has got a lot to rebuild come the next season. A lot. And it's going to be tough for any manager, whoever we bring in. Yeah. He's going to have to recruit about 8 players before he even starts. So I really do think it's going to be a hard task for whoever comes in.
Yeah, and a large part of the difficulty that he's going to be facing is going to be that a lot of the players that are going for no money.
No, there's not a lot of money in all that, Budge. Yeah, and that's hoping we don't lose Paquetá and Kudos or something, one of them. We don't want to lose one of them, but there's every chance Paquetá could be gone, but, as another player. So I think whoever comes in's got a really hard job, man. Really
you know what'll happen? The club will end up settling for, I don't know, 70 million quid for Paquetá and Phillips. I mean, I would accept that as a price tag, 70 million plus Phillips.
The only thing with Phillips, mate, we've got no rights to buy him. I mean, anyone could come in and buy him. If he does really well in the next 4 months, Newcastle can't buy him. Anyone. Yeah,
but City could say, actually, no, I'm not taking bids on Phillips.
It could be a deal.
Yeah, we're not taking bids on Phillips because he's part of a deal that we've got going with West Ham. It could happen. It could happen.
It could.
And it's likely to if Paquetá's going to go that way.
I've got a bad feeling that Phillips don't want to be at West Ham, mate, in long term. I think he does for this period because it cements his place in the England squad. I think he's got eyes on bigger prizes. That's all.
Of course.
I could be wrong, but I just got a funny feeling he don't want to go with it.
He actually turned down loans at other clubs to come to West Ham. So
for this period, I think he does.
But then I said, that's because he's going from one European champion to another. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's only on loan, and we are currently, Conference League champions. I said this.
Can we? What I don't know, Budge. Can we play him in the Europa or not?
Yeah, he's not cup tied. He's never played in the Europa League. Never.
No, I just wasn't sure what the rules were. If he played in the Champions League or not, and that counts. I don't know what the rules are. So.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. That's something.
We're not in the Champions League, so we're not in the competition that could
All right.
potentially put him up against his mother club.
Rightio.
But that's my belief anyway, Kieran. I mean, I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but
So I
that
don't
is
know.
my belief. That is my belief. Steve says, Divian Barmer hardly gets a chance. Always isolated. Think it was the last game he was played out wide. Took off our two main threats, so he never got any chances made for
No,
him.
very true.
And that's very accurate, Steve. That's exactly right, mate. Steve Tiley says he's the original. The original what? Steve, probably. Steve, oh, sorry, buddy, but who's better? Yeah. Mr. Spraggs says also, how can they ever prove themselves if they never play?
Exactly that. Well, we'll never know unless they play. Right? He'll never know unless they play. But this is the trouble with managers, mate. They're more concerned about what they can achieve and not younger players. No, you've got to look at Moyes' point of view as well. He's got no incentive to make these young players better by giving them time because he hasn't even got a contract to stay.
No,
so
no. But in fairness, he must have seen something in Obama that he likes.
Yeah.
Because
there you go.
You know, because he has played him now a number of times.
Probably not enough, but
no,
he's
probably had more than half a dozen first team.
Yeah, exactly.
Outings. So there must be something in him he sees. So I think, and according to Russ on West Ham Network, he's been doing the DJing for the under-21s recently, and according to him, he's seen Moyes at every game.
Yeah, apparently he goes. He goes and looks. That's what I'm saying.
So
if he saw a gem in that team, why would he bite his or smash himself in the face by not picking him? He would. Maybe his opinion is they're not that good. They're not good enough for the Premier League. They're good players, good prospects, and they're maybe not ready. Who knows? Who can get into Moyes' head about that, mate? Only him can answer that.
His son, who works for us now, he might be able to. I wonder what'll happen now. Whether he'll stay on if Moyes goes. Not likely. He's some kind of scout or something, isn't he?
Yeah. Suppose he.
Doing a job for the chat. I've got a question for the chat. At the beginning of this stream, I played a little video, which had my 5 nominations for Hammer of the Year, which is Emerson, Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, and Alvarez. They're the 5 that I selected. They're my 5. Out of those 5, ladies and gents in the chat, who would you pick as your Hammer of the Year at this moment in time? Steve Tiley, does anyone agree that this club will never move on to the next level until the poison door?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, mate. Listen, he's gone as far as he can with us. He wasn't. If he gets the Europa League title this year, then I would say he's reached his peak completely. If not, if he doesn't take us to the the championship, the Europa League title, if he doesn't do that, then I think that last season's final was his peak. I don't think he will do very well in the Champions League at all with any club. I don't believe he would. He's not progressive enough. You have to be a little more progressive than we are to win in the Champions League. Good evening, Steve, says Mr. Bong. There's 2 Steves in here, mate, so that's probably to both of them. 100%, mate. Sullivan is the cancer, says Keith. Yeah. HH, don't know, to be honest, but I cannot suffer another 2 years of Moyes ball. Yeah. And to be fair, the only other person that really could have come in excuse me, is what's his face? Ponge, Ange. He's the only manager that at this moment in time I would, because he's not getting the results out of Tottenham. He's
ain't going nowhere, mate. Tottenham fans love him.
Yeah, I know, but he ain't getting them nowhere, is he? To be fair.
Yeah, no, but they love him, mate. They love the style of football all of a sudden. They're really enjoying it, so they want to keep him.
Yeah. Happy says she thinks you might be thinking too far ahead. The rest of the season is enough to stress out about.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, I know, but you got to look at what's coming, and it's been coming for quite a while. And we haven't addressed it, and we had an opportunity in this window to maybe bring 2 or 3 in to make it a little bit less of a stress come the summer, because the amount of players you're going to have to bring in is phenomenal, and I just find that worrying. And it's not as if we haven't known that. We've known this, you know, at the beginning of the season. We've known it at this window, and we're going to really know it come the end of the season. So someone in that club should be looking that far ahead. So, and they're not.
Yeah.
Unless we're bringing in 10 youngsters into the team, boy. there's the plan.
All right. Okay. So Happy's saying she heard that Cornet was supposed to be going to Palace, but because our winger fell through, Cornet had to stay. Well, then he's got to be used then, hasn't he? If he's been retained for that reason, then he has to be bloody used out there. And to be fair, he's a decent left winger. We haven't tried him out there, and we fucking well should. Well,
he's
been out there.
He's still not doing it though. If that's what, you know, that's our plan B, Cornet. That scares the shit out of me because he's not doing it.
No.
And I think that's a worry. He's another one that'll have to go at the end of the season.
Well, if you was to speak to him, right, and you was to say to him, right, Maxwell, what is your preferred position? If you could play anywhere on the pitch, where would you want to be? I'll guarantee you, he says, out on the left wing. Guarantee it.
Look, now that he's got rid of Benrahma and thing, really, this weekend, Cornet should be out there. He should be.
He should be.
He's the go-to guy as your left winger. It's the only one you really got.
Yeah.
So he should be playing, but he should have come on, you know, with a half hour to go the other night, and he left him there to the 94th minute, sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
he even really insulted him by putting James Ward-Prowse out there rather than play him.
Yeah.
So that tells you where Moyes is with Cornet.
Yeah. I know, it's ridiculous, mate. It's bloody ridiculous. The guy's got, you know, he's got.
We know what he has been, you know, at Burnley. We know he's a player, but Moyes is definitely not getting out of him. And I wouldn't be surprised that guy would be going, "Look, I'm fucking fed up with this shit and don't want to play." It wouldn't surprise me. You know, he's not bothered anymore. But,
right. So there's a few answers for me question about how many we are. Steve Tiley says Emerson by far. Wally says Emerson. Steve Sprague says kudos, hammer of the year for me so far. All good shouts, all very good shouts.
Yeah.
Keith, football stuff. I was a regular over Upton Park and away games, and they made me FIO at Daggers FC. Hunts. Hate the senior old Bill for that. Yeah. Oh, FLO is that? Fan liaison officer? Oh, fan intelligence officer, probably. Anyway, it's one or the other. I'm sure he will correct me in a minute. Our club has most definitely moved on to the next level. 3 seasons in Europe with the European trophy is so far beyond what I could have dreamed of a decade ago. Yeah, we've moved on to a next level, but it's not the level most of the fans crave. I mean, you know, if you talk to, you know, Arsenal fans, Man United fans, Man City fans, Chelsea fans, you know, they're all looking at Champions League every year, you know, which means a top 4 finish, you know, or a cup win or whatever it is, you know. So, you know, we've got a chance of getting into that conversation by winning the Europa League this year. If we can't do it, then, you know, we've found our level, haven't we, for the moment, with the manager that we have and the players that we have at the moment, and players we have available. We haven't addressed it, FF. Alvarez, Kudos, JWP. I'd say that's addressed so far.
It addressed certain areas, but it's not looking beyond that. The amount of players we're going to lose, I'm going to say you count them up. I'm telling you, we're going to lose 8 or 9. So that was last summer. That was the great start. But we've got to look beyond that. We've got this window just gone was a chance to fill a couple of more spots. You know, we're probably going to need another right back. We're going to need another left back. But you know, but we haven't addressed that. So I just think it leaves a lot to do come the summer. Now we might be able to do it. Maybe old Mr. Stuyton's got 10 players lined up already. Who knows?
Yeah. Steve Tiley says that Souček has to come out of the team. Yeah,
he won for this game.
We're a wee bit entitled, says James. Yeah, mate. Morning all. Darren is in the house. Darren Higgins. Good evening, good morning, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. And what if Cornet's injury is worse than we think? Where is the replacement?
JWP apparently.
Ben Johnson, why not? Why not? I mean, look how well he did in midfield that game. You know, all right, it was only a 20-minute showing, but it was well worth looking at. And you know, I think it's worth looking at again. Stick him out on the left. You're willing to stick him out there as a left back. Why not stick him out there as a left midfielder?
Yeah, mate.
You know,
it's a better
it makes
option.
sense, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? He done really well in midfield. He looked comfortable. He looked like he was bossing it. While he was on the pitch, I didn't see While he was on the pitch, I didn't see a better midfielder, I have to say.
No,
I really didn't.
It was quite impressive for his little cameo there, mate. He really was.
Yeah.
Who would know, mate? Who would know? You might throw him in there, Gazer. But the thing is, with him, it's all very well say put him in. Who do you take out? And you don't trust Moyes not to pick JWP or Souček. He will pick them.
Yeah.
So
you don't put them out on the left-hand side. You put a player that's got a left foot, but is also equally, well, he's probably better with his right foot, but he's got a left foot. We know that Johnson's got a left foot. You know, so he can invert. He can be like a classic winger, you know, whipping it in with his left foot. That's why Cornet's important out there, I think. And yeah, you're right.
So whoever you put out there, you'd have to drop either JWP or Souček.
You got to drop Souček, in my opinion.
I don't think Moyes is going to. For this game especially, because we're going to be on the back foot that much, you're going to need every battler in that midfield, and he'll see Souček as that. So I can't see it.
But yeah, I think if you was to look at it like statistically, Kieran, I would say that JWP is better at ball retention than Souček. I would say his distribution's 100% better than Souček's.
Yeah.
I would say that his chasing down a lost ball is better than Souček's. His interceptions are probably either on a par. Souček might just tip that one. But, you know, goal involvements. Souček probably, you know, 2/3 of what JWP is.
Yeah, but I don't think Moyes looks at them as one or the other. He seems to think they come as a pair. Yeah. You know, if I've got Souček on a pitch, I need Ward-Prowse putting balls into the box so he can get on the end of them. You know, if we get in corners, I want Souček on the pitch with him so he can get on the end of that. That's why I think Moyes looks at it. They're a pairing. If one starts, the other starts. And I'm not sure he can get away from that.
Yeah. Reckon him coming on for the final 3 minutes was because something we had fell through, and we pulled the plug on him going. Palace last minute, hence him not playing. Maybe, could be. That's that's good thinking. That's good thinking. James, I meant by next level, Sullivan goal. Brady said Champions League within 5 years after moving us from Upton Park.
If you believe that bullshit.
We haven't. Yeah. I mean, I think the intent was probably there, but
I'm sure they had great intentions, but
backing it up wasn't there. And maybe now they are going to start backing them words up.
Yeah, Stevie, so was I, mate. And that's the crux of it. I can't give a shit where we are in the league. I was brought up on that sort of football where I mainly enjoyed it. We weren't always great, but the intent of playing football was there every week, and that's what I want to see again. And I'm never going to get that with Moyes. Never going to get that with Moyes. No.
So I mean, like Steve Sprague says, he was brought up on Sir John Lyall football. Yeah, they were great days. They were great days, and to be fair, probably some of the best football I've ever watched as well. But
well, that's the difference, mate. If you're more worried about where we are in the league than what kind of style of football, that's your thing. I'm not. Yeah. I'd rather see good football every week, and there's no reason why you can't play good football and win. There's none. You don't have to be 10 men behind the ball and try and nick a game. Yeah. It's a big difference.
Steve says if we're not in Europe next season, let's not kid ourselves. Paqueta's gone for starters. Listen, Steve, I've got to say, I think Paqueta's gone whether we're in Europe or not. I think he's gone.
More than likely.
Not that I want that, but Man City will take him. Man City will get him.
No, it'd be nice to have him for another year, Budge. I'd love to see him for another year.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Budgie, that's my point.
Happy days,
our level now is much, much higher than a decade ago. It is indeed. And it's much better. Statistically, it's better than any history we've ever had. We've never had 3 seasons in European competition in a row in our club's history. We've never had so many points, high points finishes, as we did in the last sort of 3 or 4 seasons in our club's history. So, yes, I agree, James, that our level is, it's a lot higher than we've ever been. But what I'm saying is that once you get to this level, you hunger for more. I mean, look, I've got a few mates that are Tottenham fans, and they said to me, when they started qualifying for the Europa League, they were it was as good to them as being in Champions League, because they hadn't experienced it for a long, long time, etc., etc. And one of my mates in particular, he said to me that I should enjoy the European football that we're getting at the moment, because it doesn't always come and it can go as easy as it came. And he was right. Tottenham showed that. Of course. And he is right. I mean, a defeat in that final against Fiorentina, although it would have been really upsetting on the day, we wouldn't be playing football in Europe this season. We didn't qualify for it in any way, shape or form other than the win. So, we have to look at it, with individual points, but also as a whole, Anyway, that's just me. I'm just waffling on, talking bollocks and getting away with it. Good times, yes, indeed. Hey, Charlie Walsh is in the house. Good evening, Charlie.
Hey, CW.
Sir. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Play the right personnel in the right place, and we can do something. That's exactly my point. You play JWP. If you're going to play him, you
sure
play him.
By the end of the season, JWP to be the best left winger in the country. That's fuck me. But I don't think that experiment's ever going to happen again. But We'll see.
Yeah. Nah, probably not. Probably not.
I think he'll still be playing this week. Don't worry about that. He won't be there.
Yeah. Don't be too surprised though if we do see Danny Ings in the Temno from time to time.
Well, that's what I said.
That's
I think is a point. Well, there is and there isn't. I still don't think he'll do it, but I think that could be an option.
Not
But
with the full strength side that he wants to pick. No.
yeah, but the thing is, someone has to come out for that to happen, and I just don't see Moyes doing that. But yeah, I give up.
Well,
give up guessing what he's going to do. Moyes.
Yeah,
I give up guessing. Cornet really should start. If you're going to need him for the rest of the season, then he should be getting a start. But who knows? After the other night, he couldn't even get on in front of her press. So
yeah. Steve-O says Cieran is spot on. At least 7 or 8 players will go in the summer. At least 4 are too old now. Yeah, exactly right, mate. Bang on right. Saying hello to Happy. Nice to see you in here, Charlie. Love it when you turn up. Think about this: a 21-man squad. That's all we have. 21.
Yeah, loads. Well, we only need 11, mate. Get on that pitch. We'll be right. It takes 11 players, mate.
That's all it took. That's all it took for us to get to the semi-final of the Europa League last time. He only used about 15 different players or something, wasn't it? Crazy.
Mate, I remember the days, but there was no substitutions. Fuck me, the team you put out, that was it to the end.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's right. Yeah, mate. And you see the likes of David Cross with a bloody bandage round his head, and still plodding on because he couldn't be subbed off.
We introduced a 1 sub, and then it ended up being 2 later on, and now it's like you can have 1,600 substitutions now.
Yeah, mate.
Because a lot of people didn't know. I told you that people here, when England or West Ham won the World Cup, you couldn't have any substitutions in '66. It didn't change till 1970 in the World Cup. But back then, in 1966, you couldn't have a substitution. Whatever 11 took the pitch, that was it. It's crazy, huh? You think about it.
Yeah, Keith saying that football intelligence officer, oxymoron.
Fuck it, that's not you, is it? Yeah.
Too late on a Saturday night, and I'm now on the gin and tonic. I think Souček is a great player. Love him more than most. We have to drop him for Cornet, to be honest.
Is my point, Budge, is that you really need to play Cornet, but someone's got to miss out, and it should be Souček. But all the evidence against Bournemouth when he wouldn't even put him on to the 94th minute, Cornet, and rather have JWP out there is madness. So it doesn't look like he's got any faith in Cornet, but he's going to have to. He's going to have to.
It might have been a case, though, that the following morning he was going to go to Selhurst Park. So therefore, he weren't going to risk
I don't believe that.
Before he goes out.
I don't believe that because Benrahma and Fornals are out the door in his mind, right? Both of them are out the door. He has to keep Cornet. He has to keep one of them. So he was staying. But to not play him in that game tells you everything about Moyes. To rather play shoehorn in Souček and Ward-Prowse rather than put your left winger on and then not bring him on for 2 minutes left or whatever. Fucking hell. He has no faith in him whatsoever, yet we're going to need him. So it's so obvious that our left winger should be playing in this game. But that means Souček or Prowse comes out of the team. And has anyone got any faith in him doing that? I don't think so.
Nah, probably not.
We'll see.
Probably not. Steve doesn't agree with you, Charlie. He don't like Souček.
No, Souček he's not very good with the ball at his feet and that. We all know what Souček's are, but he is a good player. He does offer a lot. Box to box, he does, and he battles hard, he tackles hard, he puts his head in everywhere he wants you. So he is a decent player, but when you play the way we are, if you bring the ball out from back at any stage, you don't want it at his feet. I don't want it at Zuma's feet either. So all he does is launch it long and gives the ball back. But I still think he's a reasonable player, man. Souček, he does the job.
Yeah. Steve, Charlie says, Steve, no one agrees with me about Socek. I'm used to it. Yeah. Kudos will not go in the summer. I think we have him for one more than he might go in his opinion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, pretty confident we'll keep hold of him.
Yeah, from the whispers that I'm hearing from, like, through my brother-in-law, I should say, not from him, is that because my brother-in-law is Ghanaian, and he's from the same area that Kudos grew up in. He's very happy at West Ham and hasn't looked at moving to any other clubs in Britain. So that's just, you know, what the local chat is over in Accra. So, you know, he came to us because, and he wants to stay with us. He's happy there. So there you go.
You look at a lot of players in there's a lot of players in the Premier League like are destined for bigger things. He's one of them. So is Paquetá. So is Elise. So is Eze at Palace. They won't be at these clubs, you know, whether it be next year or the year after. They're destined for bigger things, and that's just the way football is. You know, unless you are a top 4 club, which we are not, a long way from it. You know, you can't keep hold of these players all the time. You just got to plan for when you do lose them. Like you know, when you lose Rice, you've got to plan for it. Bringing Alvarez in was fantastic, and at the beginning there, him and Ward-Prowse really settled in well. And we look at a really bad team without Alvarez at the moment. So yeah. Just got to plan for the loss of these players.
Yeah. Steve, he's genuinely a great player. He just isn't what most fans want, and that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think
if we didn't have Moyes, then I probably wouldn't want him either. Yeah. Look, give him grief about
even in Lyle days, right? By the fans, I'm not saying he'd play under Lyle every game, but the work and effort he puts in, and I'll include Soufal on this, putting his head in where it hurts, they would be loved back then in the 70s and 80s, Soufal and Socek.
Yeah.
Their effort is endless. And that was always, every West Ham fan loved that, regardless. We had lots of players that weren't fantastic players, but we really appreciated their effort. And that's why I don't like knocking Socek so much, because you can't knock his effort. We know he's limited. But mate, they boys, I love them both. They really do. They're true professionals. Come up, they turn up every week, and regardless where, even when they're out of form, where Souček should have had a rest here and there, he still tried his hardest, even when he weren't playing well.
Yeah,
he does try, and everyone
played immediately after being in battle. Do you know what I mean? He goes off at half time with his head bleeding and comes back on with a bandage on.
Yeah. No, he's one of them.
Won't give up.
He's had a few stickers at West Ham, mate.
Yeah, you got to admire the man's mettle. You definitely have got to admire that at the very least, And he has scored a few important goals. Let's be fair. All right, there we go. Look, they're giving me grief about having mates that are Tottenham fans, and Happy's got a brother-in-law who's a spud. Can't be helped, she says. They come creeping out of the woodwork, mate. That's the problem with them.
He's a spud. Bury him in the ground then.
Yeah. I've got a couple of genuinely decent mates that are. Steve Renton's.
I know guys from every bloody football club in the world over here, mate.
Right, where are we? He only suits a Moyle style manager, to be fair. True enough.
Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve's someone that he's telling Charlie now, keep taking the shrooms. Oh, God. I agree. He would be shy under anyone else, says Happy. Have to have him in both boxes is a bonus. Yeah. True enough. I don't drink or do drugs. Imagine the absolute nonsense I would come out with if I did. Yeah, no, actually, Charlie's one of the nicest guys in the world, Steve. Please, just defeating the final in the 64 final, and we wouldn't have won the cup in 65. The fact is that we're here, West Ham, 2 times European trophies in Europe. Come on, you want?
Yeah,
well, yeah.
You know, I'd be very happy to get back in that Conference League next year. If that 8th spot was available for it and we got back in, I'll be delighted.
Yeah.
That'll do me.
Yeah.
Have another pop of that. I fucking love that.
Yeah. Listen, you can read that, can you? He says the truck. That's brilliant. I love it. I love it.
Well, mate, Pep turned Stones into a fucking great player. I don't know how he did that. I thought he was the biggest donkey centre half I've ever seen, but my word, he's improved him a lot. You never know what he could do with Solskjaer.
Yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see. Robert Singleton's in the house. Good evening, Rob. Good evening. Thank you.
Good night, Robert. Do you know, funny, you know, we were talking the other week with your mate, Tony, and they were talking about tourists at the club, but, at clubs and that. It's funny enough, during watching the football last night, at half-time, the adverts come up here in Australia about this, like a Ticketek mob, but they're not. It's got another name. And it was advertising how they are teamed up now with Tottenham, and you can buy tickets for all the Tottenham games, and it said, and the future Champions League games or Europa, right? So they're confident they're getting into Europe next year, right? But you can book, and they're guaranteed seats from here to go there and watch Tottenham, and Big Ange, of course. That's part of it because you've got an Aussie in charge. But there you go. So these clubs are. Tourism is a big thing for them now. Bringing tourists
it's huge, especially in the capital. I mean, I went to the
especially in London.
God. Yeah. What game?
But to be advertising that here, Budge, that you guaranteed seats to go and watch a Premier League game at the Spurs Stadium, whatever it's fucking called, and all the packages and whatever it is, they'll do the lot. So it is a big tourist thing. And like I said, they do have a partnership with Tottenham to do it. So
that's
the future.
I would imagine there are many that do them. Like with every club. I know that Chelsea have got them.
So what convinces me then, Budge, is that Tottenham obviously do this in Korea. Do you see how many? Because of their interest in Son, and see how many you can see the crowd there. You see a lot of Koreans in the crowd at Tottenham, so they must advertise that there in Korea as well for them. So there's no doubt about it. All the big London clubs are becoming a tourist destination, no doubt about it. We just don't know really the extent of it. That it's not just people deciding to come themselves; they're advertising to bring them in. So it is obviously a big thing, and it's money to be earned.
I can't remember what game it was I was at. It was only, I don't know, just after. No, it was in January, I think, or it might have been in December. Anyway, it's not that long ago. I was at a game and I was chatting with Richard on WhatsApp, Richard Cox, and I said to him, I'm actually standing I'm sitting in my seat, and everyone around me, and I'm talking about 2 rows in front, at least 6 seats either side of me, and the one row that was left behind me, I was the only English-speaking person in that area. The rest of them were all talking Portuguese, I think. So, and 1 or 2 of them had Brazil shirts on and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that you know, a lot of maybe even UK-based Brazilians might come to the London Stadium because tickets are easy to get. You know,
Maybe.
like through these corporate.
Yeah, you don't know what the advertising strategies are, but you can imagine, But the appeal, I suppose, if you're in France or Belgium, I mean, you don't even have to go on a plane to get into London. You just jump on the train. You jump on a Eurostar, you're there, and then So it would be a great a weekend out, wouldn't it? A weekend away into London and watch a Premier League game. You can see the appeal.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably.
And if you've got it, say in your team, like Tottenham, if you've got the superstar of Korea in your team, that brings a lot of people in. And as you know, when the tourists come, as you would, you're visiting that shop, you're buying gear as well, and so it is a big money turnover.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I followed these lot out of the stadium, and to be fair, when you come out of the stadium, it's not easy to make your way anywhere quick. You've got to sort of go with the flow, really. And, I always go to the exit bridge next to the club shop because it's the one that gets me to the Carpenter's Arms quicker. So I was kind of following them, and they were all going into the shop, all of them. I mean, there must have been half a dozen of them I saw going into the shop. And, you can probably guarantee they're all going to spend what? Well, when you consider this year's shirt is like 85 quid. So they're all going to buy at least one of this year's shirts. Then they're going to buy like maybe a couple of T-shirts and a scarf and a hat and maybe
bucks,
they're
man.
all going to be spending like 150 plus in the shop, and that probably goes for a.
As much as we take the piss out of half and half scarves, but as a tourist coming there, that's the perfect gift, isn't it? As a memento for the game you came and watched, isn't it? A half and half scarf to remind you.
Yeah. Nothing better, mate. Absolutely. And to be fair, I'm the sort of person, because I keep forgetting what games I've been to and what games I'm going to and all that. I just forget, I've got so many other things running through my head. I just forget what games I go to. I mean, I know what ones I've been to. I mean, I could check on my phone and look at every ticket I've got. But, I could do with them half and half scarves, to be fair. I could have them all pinned up on my wall and I go, oh, yeah, it was, SBC
you're not meant to buy them as a West Ham fan, mate.
No, you're
against
not.
the rules.
Not,
you can only buy them if you're a tourist. I can buy one, mate, because I'm classed as a tourist now.
Yeah, but they would be a very useful memory tool for me. They would actually. They would be a very useful.
But they are for a memento, I got coming there for a weekend to London. It would be the perfect gift, I think, or memento for that occasion. Yeah. So as much as we knock it, I do laugh at it. But I would. When I first heard they actually existed, I couldn't believe it. I went, "What fan would fucking buy that?" But now, when you consider the tourism that's involved in football, you can see that they make sense.
It's hundreds of millions.
And I wouldn't knock the tourists for buying them.
No. Hundreds of
even though I'd imagine the club shop doesn't do them, is it just the vendors outside of the London Stadium? I'd imagine do them.
Oh yes, they're on every access bridge to the stadium from.
Right.
Because the stadium is kind of like on an island, kind of from the side that I approach. Anyway, there's a canal that runs across.
Surrounded by the canals, isn't it?
Yeah. So, every access bridge to the stadium that I've ever been across, there's always the half and half scarf boys. And, at Stratford Station also, you see one or two on occasion. In fact, there's one guy, I actually always say hello to him when I pass him normally. I didn't see him Thursday night, though, for some reason. But there's a guy that actually Happy introduced me to. I think he used to drink in the pub that she worked in. I always sort of say hello to him now when I go past, just purely because I've spoken to him a couple of times, but you know, I don't know how well they do. Do you know what I mean? And you know, for these European games, what do they do with all the scarves they haven't sold?
So, because they're such one-offs, aren't they? Some of these games, you've got whatever you've got to sell it now, haven't you? That's it, it's done. I don't know how they get on with that, mate. But unless you say where all the tourists are getting off that train, that's where you want to be, isn't it? So you're trying to hit them, because if it's talking about half and half scarves, they're the only ones to me are going to be buying it. So I suppose European game wouldn't be so bad, because a European game would be a good memento. You know, if you're playing Barcelona and you've got a West Ham Barcelona memento scarf, wow, you know what I mean? What a good memory that would be. So you wouldn't mind that so much. Huh?
Yeah. So
just 2 seconds, mate.
All right, mate. If we do get Champions League and we do play Barcelona, I'm buying him an half and half scarf, and I'll send it to him. That's what I'm going to do. Right, let's have a look in the chat, see what we're looking at. I'm going to miss out a few. I said if we do get into the Champions League ever and we play Barcelona, I'm getting you an half and half scarf. Oh, right. Right, so Moyes wanted the left winger at the start. Who is to blame for not getting anyone in? Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, I think that was it Osman?
The computer.
Yeah, was it the Osman deal that went? Was it the Osman deal that went through the floor because of the agent?
Yeah,
Mate,
that was that's a
classic. Fucking spotted. That should have been spotted a long time before.
I'm not so sure.
Charlie says he agrees with you, Kieran, on finally selling our best players. It's a fact of being a team our size. We just have to get a good deal and replace them like we did with Rice. Exactly that. What I mean, shrewd business like that. That's why we need to keep Tim Steiden. And I don't know, actually, Charlie, if you've got any information that I don't know about the rumours of Man City, or was it Liverpool? It was either Man City or Liverpool.
No, I heard Liverpool sniffing him.
Yeah, it might have been Liverpool then. Yeah,
it was Liverpool sniffing, but
looking at recruiting him. Do you know anything about
Don't take any notice of that.
If you do, you can give us a little exclusive. Right, Sufal, I feel his position is upgrading as well in summer. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of been the case for about a year now, Steve. I think. But
I'd love to. You know what I mean? I'd love to have a really good right back, and Sufal was back up to that. I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean? He's our best option at the moment, Sufal. But we do need to upgrade. As simple as that. We need to give Emerson competition next as well on the left. Right, give him competition for his spot. You know, it's all good. That's what you got to be looking for.
I mean, I'm quite happy that Emerson came to us as a underdog, and he's proven that. I mean, you know, right? There's extra people in the chat now that weren't here when I actually asked the question. I put 5 names forward for Hammer of the Year, or potential, potentials for Hammer of the Year. And I said Emerson, Paquetá, Bowen, Kudus, and Alvarez. Now, guys and girls in the chat, if you haven't already answered, we've had 2 answers for Emerson and 1 for Kudus so far. So, and I feel that Emerson should be in the conversation. In fact, he should be front runner.
Of course he should. He's been our most consistent player, I think, this season.
Yeah.
And depends how this next 4 months sort of go.
He came to us as a bit of an underdog.
And that's the best way of coming, isn't it?
Yeah, and, you know, there were a lot of people, and I know I wasn't one of them, but there were a number of people that actually said, you know, we've got another Chelsea reject, and this and that. Well, the fact is he came to us from Lyon, He played against us in the Europa League season 4 last with Paquetá, and Cornet was in that squad as well, but he didn't play. So there you go. 3 players that we've got currently that have all come from Lyon, directly from Lyon.
We've got 2. But
yeah.
Got another one sitting on the bench.
Yeah, well, that's what I said in the squad. In the squad. in the squad pod. You love it. Right. They make the most of what they got. Yeah, exactly. Like, why not? And, you know, when you brought on 96th minute, you can't make the most of that. Fucking ridiculous. We do definitely have to get a striker in the summer. That depends on the manager, Steve. If we're going to keep Moyes, what's the point of getting a striker? He's only going to get fucking fed up and leave in the next window anyway. So, you know, what's the point of getting a striker if we keep Moyes? There ain't no point. We just need decent attacking options. You know, we're talking about players like Kudus, like Paquetá, like Bowen, like Cornet has been in his previous teams. You know, I agree, a striker is important if we change managers to one that will use a striker. We cannot go into another season with Antonio up top. He's 35-year-old, and Bowen needs to go back on the right. Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone realises.
Yeah, I think, you know, yeah, Steve, at the end of the day, mate, Antonio is probably going in the summer anyway. He'll probably end up going to somewhere like Saudi or America, maybe.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, I can't see him being with us at the end. He could even bloody retire for all we know, Budge, you know?
Yeah,
become a podcaster.
You know, he probably could. He probably would. And to be fair, no one would blame him at his age, but he's a competitive bugger. I think he'd probably go and get another season in the States or somewhere. And still do his podcasting. How we didn't get a left wing player yet, but potential ones on the loan is a mystery to me, though. Yeah.
Oh, well, that mystery's gone. We don't have it.
Earlier on, Steve Tiley put a thing up saying if we win the Europa League, Charlie's going to get a haircut. And now Happy's asking if it's true.
Fuck me. You could fill a full pillar with a cut in his hair. You could fill a full pillar, mate. It's that fucking long. That's about 10 years of growth there.
Yeah. Charlie,
g'day, Charlie boy.
How are you, CB? How are you, mate? I'm glad to see you, sir. Glad to see you. I hope you are well. I hope the family are well. Well, it got to happen sometime, but I ain't promising nothing. Yeah. He's also got to get permission.
It's a major job, that. Might need scaffolding put up to fucking cut all that.
He's got to also get permission from his good lady as well.
Yeah.
You know, she might like it.
Yeah.
Steve says he will cut it for charity. Cut your own for charity, or his? No. I'm not sure he's going to let any one of us that are stupid enough to be in here tonight. I think he'd probably go to someone that, qualified.
But even when CW shaves his beard off, it takes about 3 days to grow back. It's fucking mental.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. See, Charlie's saying no chance. Pray for men of pride.
You'd probably find an old West Ham bobbler in there if he cut that hair off.
It's grown through.
Just grow over it, isn't it?
Oh, fucking hell. Hilarious. What kind of tourist would want to hang around in Haringey? Haringey?
Why Haringey?
It's where the dog track is, isn't it?
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah. There you go. Dos Charlies 2 times. Yes, exactly that. Exactly. Charlie Charming. We was linked with Yukinari Sugawara because the midget wants to tape it into the country, to tap into the country.
Yeah.
Etc. Yeah. I mean, do we know anything about this Sugawara? I mean, I've heard his name mentioned. I've heard from 2 people. I think Gio did a slot on him not too long ago on Hammer's Chat. And to be fair, I was trying to listen to it, but at the time, I was also hoovering and walking around tidying up and stuff. So I may have missed some of the detail. But he's a left-sided winger, I believe, though, isn't he? Potential. What's his name? Son.
I'll tell you what. Can you imagine how much Tottenham have made out of an old song in shirt sales and that in Korea? It'd be mental. It'd be phenomenal amounts.
Yeah.
So,
and, you know, Korea
and the tools that they bring to their stadium.
Yeah, Korea's a huge market for shirt sales, and because you know,
they're lucky they got their superstar. Tottenham.
Yeah.
So,
wouldn't it be good if West Ham could find a Chinese superstar when you consider there's over 3 billion.
You got a billion customers, geezer. You got a billion customers straight away.
You know what I mean? How many?
If they had a real superstar.
How many number fucking 16 shirts do they want to sell? You know, find a Chinese boy, give it, a proper little, prospect, give him the 16 shirt. That number will go all over the world.
Yeah. What's their
I only said
what's
that
that
to wind people up, by the way. I don't mean.
Isn't there's a number in China, isn't there? A really lucky number. I don't know if it's 13 or not, but there's one number there that they class as a very lucky number. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
I think it's 9.
Charlie Walsh, come on, you're smart. Tell me, what number is it in China? They class as a real lucky
you're
number.
A university graduate, Charlie. Come on, give us the answer to that. Shame we
probably
didn't
need
go for the
Athens for that.
Ocean
Athens would be the 6 universities. We probably need him.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Look at the troubles at last week's West Brom Wolves Cup tie because some fans were in opposition seats. This will happen more often as away fans are sitting, more in the home ends at most grounds now. And that is true. I mean, there's been times I've been in the stadium and I've seen Man United shirts, I've seen Tottenham shirts, I've seen Arsenal shirts. But in general, they are on tourists.
Yeah, that's that. There you go.
Now, it's wrong, morally. It's wrong to wear an away shirt in a home end. Morally, it's wrong. But you got to understand, some of these tourists, like Chinese and maybe Koreans and maybe even Russian or, wherever, non-English speaking, I would probably narrow it down to, are probably unaware of the rivalry between certain clubs and are unaware of the trouble that actually could cause them.
Well,
and they're not there for trouble. They're there with their kids and their popcorn, and they got their baseball caps.
In the 70s and 80s, mate, I took great pride in being in the wrong end at a football match when we went away. But I didn't. I didn't wear a West Ham shirt because I weren't that fucking stupid.
No.
No. And I didn't speak.
Pair of socks on. Nothing. Especially not up north. Oh yeah, look.
I used to wear a West Ham badge under the lapel of my donkey jacket. That's what I do. Make sure it's him. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, I used to go with people that used to have scarves on under their parka or something, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then when it was about to go, they would unzip their parkas and get the scarves out. And so
do you know what my scariest one, guys, I was only 15 going, and I went to Newcastle away, right? Thinking that if you don't wear any colours, right, no one will know that you're West Ham supporters, right?
Yeah,
and I got off the train there at Newcastle, and fuck me, guys, them Geordies, right? Back in them days, they used to wear a scarf on each arm, one round the neck, a black and white bobble hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You stood out as an away fan because you had nothing.
Nothing.
Right? They had
Absolutely
cars coming
nothing.
everywhere. And you go, oh, fucking hell. Right, they knew you were a West Ham fans because you were just nothing, and they were just covered in black and white. It was mental. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Budgie loves a tourist. No, not particularly, mate. Not particularly.
Nothing wrong with them.
I've got nothing against them, to be fair, but no, happy. The reason you never see tourists is because the area that you are supposed to sit in, but never do, she stands up like everybody else does. Everybody stands up in the Trevor Brook in Lower. That's where you are, isn't it, Happy? I'm sure it is. Anyway, they're all staunch West Ham down there. All staunch.
Well, I suppose there's areas or season tickets, so it wouldn't be tourists.
Yeah, I don't doubt that there are a lot of purchased, for the day tickets in.
Yeah, of course it is.
They're buying them from season ticket holders generally, I would thought. But it's just staunch West Ham in that section. I've been in that section a number of times. We were in there on Thursday night. And
it's like if you just spun it the other way around, Butch, you know what I mean? Say the French league was the Premier League, it was the best league in the world, the French league. And for you, just for the experience, to jump on the Eurostar to go to Paris to watch a game would be brilliant, wouldn't it? It'd be fantastic.
I want to do that at the Nou Camp. I want to do it at the San Siro.
Yeah.
I want to do it,
Yeah, it would be a great experience.
In France, the Stade de France. I would like to experience that. There's many.
I went to the Nou Camp in about 1982, but I was over there on holiday with a load of my mates and the missus at the time, I think. And we just got jumped on a coach to the Nou Camp and just had a tour of the stadium there. Amazing place there. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stadium. Amazing history to it as well. How they got it built and everything else. Something to do with the supporters paying like 5 years worth of season ticket to give them the money to build what they were building. Yeah, it was quite an amazing. Their trophy room was bigger than Upton Park.
Do you know what, Robert? That's actually a good shout, mate, because I hadn't put him in on my 5. But Areola, hammer of the year so far, Rob Singleton. I didn't put him on the 5.
He's done well for
brilliantly. He's done well.
I like both of them, man. I like both our keepers. I think we're lucky.
I do.
We have two good keepers.
Yeah, I mean, I just love that interview on Ironcast from Fabianski. He was honest. He was open. He was emotional. It was nice. It was really nice to see. And, he mentioned that one time he was on the bench. It was him and 2 outfield players on the bench. He was wearing his goalkeeper kit. He had to pull on the number 9 shirt and go on as a forward, and scored the only goal for his team. Lech Poznan, I think it is, he was playing for. He was in the second team at the time. He was playing for Lech Poznan. And the manager had made 2 substitutions with the 2 outfield players, and then the striker got injured, and they had to put Fabianski on as a striker, so he had to wear the number 9 shirt.
Be a nice experience.
Scored the only goal, but they did lose 4-1.
Yeah, that sort of puts a damper on it a little bit, but
but it's a lovely story. I think the fact that he scored a goal in open play. Fucking brilliant. Our goalkeeper. Great stuff. Hang on a minute. Sorry. James. Areola, JWP, King Thomas aren't far behind you, leading 5, Mr. B. Agreed, James. Agreed. But I put up what I thought would be the most popular 5. And so answer the bloody question.
Yeah, that's your fault.
I read that Dan Rigg, the 17-year-old, is destined for the left wing position in the future.
Right?
Yeah, maybe if Moyes isn't here. If not, he ain't got a shot. He ain't got a chance. That's my opinion. Sugar Warrior's first job was Tate and Lyle. Yeah, very good. Very good. I've got a cousin that worked at Tate and Lyle in Silvertown, just round the corner from East Ham and all that, isn't it? Chad is a huge WWE fan. Has it long? Right. Okay. I'm sure that's been addressed by Charlie. Brady should be looking at it. She is the business lady. As you say, China would be massive for us. Yeah, exactly, Steve. And, you know, I think that, you know, African market is huge. I mean, it's the largest continent anyway. So that market, we've got to tap into it, man.
It's a double-edged sword there, though, in Africa and Asia.
There are a lot of poorer nations. I agree, but Ghana isn't one of them.
I'm not saying that. It's if you're in Asia, right? As soon as a shirt comes out, they've got it copied like 2 hours later. So to get the shirt sales there, you got to compete with all the fakes, and everyone's got fakes there all over Asia. Yeah, no matter where you go.
True. So that is true.
You got to compete with that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and I'm guilty of having a fake. I think it's up there somewhere. Yeah, my Iron Maiden shirt over that side, far end. It's a fake. It doesn't say Iron Maiden on the front. It says Iron Madden. They didn't put the I in. But yes. Brilliant. Yeah, but who cares? In fact, the one with the claret shirt with the blue top with the darker blue stripes running through it, what I call the Lanzini shirt, that one, that's a fake as well. I bought that off Facebook. Wish I hadn't have done. As soon as I did, the first time I washed it in a cool wash, I opened it up because I washed it inside out, which is what you're supposed to do with shirts with, you know, print on them. I washed it inside out, and then I realised there was no lettering left on it. Yeah, don't buy fakes, boys and girls. It don't work. I know the Chinese think that numbers are 2, 3, 6, and 8 are lucky. There you go. Thank you, Robert. 2, 3, 6, and 8.
Is that it?
So we get a decent
well done, Robert.
Chinese
Thanks for that.
player. We get a decent little Chinese player, and he has to be number 200.
Got to get one of the lucky numbers.
He has to be 2,368. Make sure we get all the bases covered. Must be either on the ice cream or she's gone to bed. She's lurking, mate. She's lurking, looking for chocolate. Sugar Warrior is a right back.
Yeah. He's a sweet right back.
Yeah, mate.
No,
yeah,
I didn't like it either.
You're right there, Steve. But you got to experience it one time. Spurs trophy room is a phone box. Oh, here we go. Some of the jokes.
When I was in Paris, geezer, I nearly got attacked by an alligator. Did I tell you that?
When you were where?
When I was in Paris. I almost got attacked by an alligator.
How the hell does that work?
I was walking in Montmartre there where the Moulin Rouge is. I was walking down the road there, just outside of Moulin Rouge. And I was walking, I was looking for my hotel, right? And all of a sudden, this big black guy, just stops me in my truck. What? He said, stop. I thought, shit, what's going on here? And out of this van, they were carrying this alligator into the Moulin Rouge. What the fuck? He was wrapped up in a towel and whatever, and had tape around his jaws as they pulled him in. And apparently, that Janet Jackson was playing at the Moulin Rouge that night, and that was part of her stage act. There's alligators. So there you go. Weird story. I know.
Gosh. Yeah, pretty strange story. Pretty strange. Yeah, Steve Tyler's going. He's got to get some shut eye. Good night, mate. Yeah, it's all that energy you've been exerting while you've been in Hertfordshire, you little rampant little mouse. You.
Yeah, it's late, isn't it? It's late. Your time, isn't it?
Well, we've been going an hour and 50 minutes, mate, which isn't unusual for us, to be fair. We can chat for hours, can't we? Night, Steve. I won't be far behind. John Mucker, medication kicking in. I know exactly how that feels, Mr. Knight. Keith, and may have had a few of this, but you guys are the perfect foil for each other. Thank you. Cheers, dudes. Only the best thing to ever come out of Australia is Midnight Oil, innit?
Midnight Oil. Yeah, they're a good band, Jamesy. They're a good band, Midnight Oil. Very good.
Are they?
Yeah, very good.
I actually like John Farnham. I thought he was a decent musician.
Yeah, he was good, man. The Voice, they call him here. The Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, John Farnham.
Yeah,
but he was actually born in England, but
was he?
Hmm?
Oh, right, he's an expat.
He was born in England, came to Australia. John Farnham. I think he was born in Kent.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think so.
Don't pronounce that wrong. Yeah. Was a punch and juice. Thank you very much. Yeah, we could start wrapping it up, really. I mean, we have been on for an hour and a half. No, an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. Everyone should be in bed.
Yeah. Good night, Mr. Sprague. Thank you for joining us, and indeed everyone else. Yeah, we'll start wrapping it up. It's been fun chatting with you, Kieran, as always. I love it. You know.
Yeah, I do, mate. It's nice and relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll try and do it again soon. I mean, obviously, you know, we'll try and arrange it so that it's a more reasonable time for the Brits and a reasonable time for you.
Yeah, a couple of hours earlier, probably best.
A couple of hours what? Earlier?
A couple of hours earlier probably be best.
You don't want to be waking up and going live at 7 in the morning, do you?
I'll get up at 5:30 most mornings anyway, Budge. I'll get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So if it was 7 o'clock my time, that'd be fine. Which is 9 o'clock your time.
Yeah, 9 o'clock mine. Yeah. But don't forget,
I can
in a
do
few months' time, that'll be going to 9 hours instead of 10.
Yeah, that changes it a bit. But, you know, we'll worry about that when it comes.
But that's about August time, isn't it? It's August, June.
Yeah, whenever your clocks change, our clocks don't change here in Queensland. But when yours change, then it makes it 9 hours instead of 10.
Oh, got you. Yeah, got you. Oh, right. So it's dependent upon us. Right. Right. So James says that's what happens when wearing your hat, leather pants, and in a Paris red light district, Kieran. Very
weird place, Paris. Man. Some weird people over there, I'll tell you. And I'm not one of them. I wasn't one of them, believe you me. I flew to Paris I was working in Antwerp at the time, and my missus, she flew from London to Paris, and I went from Antwerp to Paris, you know. And I weren't all that keen on Paris myself. Didn't really like it. But there is some beautiful architecture there, beautiful buildings. I went to the Louvre, saw the Mona Lisa. That was disappointing, but amazing shit they've got in that Louvre, man.
I never quite made it to Paris. I was driving a rental truck, right, for a mate of mine, and he wanted this. It was an antique piece of furniture anyway. It was a dresser or something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, It was wrapped up in all loads of bubble wrap and all this, that, and the other, and put in the back of this rental truck, 7.5 tonner. So I've had to drive it literally from Gatwick, and they wanted it delivered in Paris, right? I was getting paid really well to do it. I was being paid 500 quid for the return journey, basically.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, and all the fuel and everything was all taken care of by my mate, and the truck rental and everything. So I thought I was on a really good deal. So anyway, I gets across the, you know, the water on a ferry, starts driving towards Paris. I gets to about 60 kilometres from Paris, and all of a sudden the truck that I'm driving jolts like somebody's fucking shot it.
Oh,
And
God.
one of my rear wheels overtook me. The rear axle, like the studs on the rear wheel snapped.
Quality machine. Then.
One of them jammed up underneath, so it didn't go anywhere. But the other one overtook me, and it rolled down it actually went across in front of me and hit the barrier on the hard shoulder. Remembering, you know, like you drive on the right out there, so the hard shoulder's on your right hand side. And so it's hit this hard shoulder barrier, and it went for about 1/4 mile on its own, this fucking wheel, just rolling along the barrier. And yeah, it took about 4 hours to get that sorted out. That was hilarious. And I never actually made it to Paris, because what happened was they sent the guy from Paris out with another van or another truck to take the goods off the back of my truck. So then I had to turn around and go Gatwick, you know. Yeah, quality. Yeah, mate. But the thing was, because that happened while I was driving
not quite a heavy weekend, is it?
Yeah, because it happened while I was driving and that, I told the rent company that I weren't very happy that the vehicle had failed in such a catastrophic manner and this and that. They gave me 1,700 quid compensation just by writing to them. 1,700 quid compensation. Yeah, so I got 2,200 quid for the full journey.
Sweet. I mean, that could have been seriously disastrous.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, think of it a bit, somebody. Fucking hell. You know, somebody on a motorbike or something. It would have wiped them out. I mean, them wheels, they probably weigh 80, 90 kilos probably each. You know, maybe more. I mean, that's a heavy weight running down the road at like 50, 80 kilometres an hour.
No.
You know what I mean?
Seriously kill someone, that.
Oh, God, yeah, definitely. I mean, I was very lucky. I mean, the police questioned me for 45 minutes. That was fun.
You can get much sense out of you.
You know, because when they walked up to me, I said, bonjour, and they started talking to me in French, and I just stood there looking at them like dumbfounded. And they went, I said, I'm sorry.
Je m'appelle.
Yeah, I do not understand anything you said except for bonjour. That was it. You lost me after bonjour. And this couple, they were talking to each other. And they got on the radio and they were gabbering on in French again. Then some guy turned up, obviously an English speaker with a heavy French accent. And yeah, they were interviewing me for 45 minutes at the side of the road while the truck was being fixed. Yeah, well, I was 4 hours sat in this bloody hard shoulder in this truck. Freezing cold. Horrible. So, yeah, never been to Paris. Yeah. Oh, look, Keith Knight, another good band. Look, Men at Work. Do you come from a land down under?
KP. Right, one of my favourite songs, I've actually got it my ringtone on my phone, is from the guy, the lead singer of Men at Work, when he went on his own. And what a song that is.
Yeah, you
can't remember the guy's name. He was originally, the lead singer of Men at Work was originally born in Scotland.
Yeah, we spoke
and
about
moved to Australia
a long time ago.
We did.
Years.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. And I did a bit of research and listened to it. Yeah. I can't remember his name now either. Anyway, listen, we've been going for just about 2 hours in 40 seconds. Time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll hang up, and I will chat to you after we finish the show. I'm going to play one short video, and it's your son's music that does the outro, mate.
Oh, lovely.
Music here from,
Go the boy.
from young Kieran Jr., artisan. Look him up on YouTube, etc. And this is just a reminder of my 5 players for the Hammer of the Year. And we will see you next time. Take care. Come on, you guys.
Layers. Habits.
Artie, Zen. Yeah. Look, we're just gonna throw some bars in, have a bit of a laugh, have some fun. Hope you guys like it. Much love. You know it is. Come on, you ones. When I jump on a track, I flow like an artist. Lyrical brush, I paint all my hardship. Take off too fast, so strap up your harness. Leaving the ocean parties. Moses, nothing. Needing to find my bro like Raditz. Believe it or no, my death's no challenge. I ain't the hardest, can't be rapping and wheeling. Chilling in the back street, chatting. Or we can stand in your place. Hands stand down while we dance in your grave. Hands down plan, there's no chance of a fake. I've been a fan cam ram, but the man on the plate unhinged. Hit the bars so hard, see that cringe. Solar bars, changing the colour of your skin. Polar charts, filling the Arctic wind. Know my path, lit in the darkness in. I know it's hard to be the goat at last. I wanna show my cards, I gotta bro with hearts, gotta devote my part to the bro from the start. Might as well go throw him a dart as I load my hope. I'm broke, I chose to go alone. I know my death's from overdose or comatose. To blow my bro dope to rope, use a choke, abuse a coach, diffuse a hope. Flips up a pound, gives up on crowns, trips up, falls down, sits up on ground, sits up and out, through rubbish bounce, lives ups and downs, just comes around. It's us without the us and ours. How the fuck did I wake up here from the haze and beers and the games of peers? How the fuck do I make it clear? I don't chase that gear that I hate from fearing. This is just a test of flows. And my grades are the best with those. Tell me that I'll let it go. That we frozen, let it float. Nah, we got that